All right, y'all, welcome. In this video, I'm going to talk about how I balance family and making sure I spend time with them, all the stress, all the burdens that may bring, along with my personal goals. You know, try the best way I can try to get you guys into like understanding or seeing what I'm saying, or if you're watching this video, you probably already got some sense of it. But what I think is imagine everybody's well-being being your responsibility. You know, that's what it feels like to me, including your own. Having everybody's well-being, their safety, their comfort, just everything in general being your responsibility too, as well as your own. Being a family man, that's what it is. But yeah, just imagine that. Imagine everybody's well-being being yours. What I like to do is times where I may feel like overwhelmed or it just may seem too hectic at the time. I like to make a schedule, or make a plan, because I know many of us have heard if you don't make a plan, you plan to fail, essentially. But I like to have structure. If I feel like it's getting too hectic, I recognize it first, take a step back and say, okay, what needs to get done first? What do we need to do? What do I need to do? And what can I do to stay on top, stay afloat, not let it go downhill. Yeah, but I like to have a schedule. On Sundays, like today, it's our movie night, and we all get together. The family that I created, we all get together, and once a week, once a week, Sundays, each one of us picks a different movie. Tonight it's my turn. I know they probably ain't gonna watch like Boys in the Hood or something, so I'm gonna try to, I'm gonna try to pick like a Christmas theme movie, something like a family movie. I don't know, but yeah, that's probably what I do. But I try to make time for everybody. We have our movie night, the whole family, and I try to make time for just my wife, like without the kids, so we can keep our relationship strong, so we can keep our union strong, because that's the only way we're gonna be able to be there for the kids is if we strong together. That's the only way you are gonna be strong, if you and your partner are strong together as a family. It's all one, it's all one. So I make sure I separate some time out so I can support her and what she needs. And also, I make sure I carve out some time for myself. I'm starting to get back into my fitness journey, trying to stay on top of my health. I've been drinking a lot of teas lately, just like teas and waters, drinking a detox tea, liver detox tea, some kava tea, that stress relief tea, ginger tea, and mostly water, trying to make sure I stay on top of my health, because health is wealth, and that'll also like bring my brain or my stress levels back into balance. So I try to carve out some time for my fitness. I also try to carve out like a little time for like entertainment, which I mostly do that at like night, because I work the late shift, but I don't want to get it on that. But I carve out time for myself, my fitness, a little bit of time for entertainment, like whatever shows I'm watching. I've been watching The Witcher lately on Netflix. Great show. And I try to prioritize my sleep, make sure I'm well rested, so that way I can have the energy and motivation to be the man that I'm supposed to be. But yeah, I carve out some time. Start recognize, okay, it's getting a little too hectic. Let me recenter, refocus. Let me reconstruct what I'm doing, so I don't get overwhelmed or things don't get out of whack. It doesn't get too hectic. But yeah, I recenter, refocus, restructure. Make sure the family time, all us together, that's carved out, set in stone. And then I make some time for my wife. I make sure readjust. Make sure I make time for my wife, and I make sure I make time for myself. But on a good note, it does give you like a feeling of like completion. Well, it gives me a feeling of completion. I don't know how it make you feel. Hopefully it give you a feeling of completion, but it gives me a feeling of completion when I'm doing the things that I need to do, essentially being a man. It gives me a feeling of completion. It makes me feel like whole, like I got this, like these people depending on me and I'm doing it. I'm taking care of them. I'm showing them love. I'm providing for them financially, mentally, in every aspect. That really, it gives me like a sense of peace, being that stone, being that rock, that they all can lean on. That is what I feel like the good part of it is. Even though it can get hectic, that's why I'm making this video, so I can hopefully help somebody. Or if I miss something, y'all comment and y'all maybe can help me. Hey, try this out. But I'm just letting y'all know what I do. So if you may want to try it, go ahead. It gives me that feeling of completion, like I'm making a difference in the world, and not even just with the family that I created, even with like my extended family as well. Like I go over there, talk to my nephew, talk to my sisters, if they having problems, being there for them. But it just gives me a sense of like accomplishment. It gives me a sense of completion, knowing that they are leaning on me and I'm able, to like be there for them. To me, it's like no greater feeling in the world than that. And I know a lot of times it can feel like very overwhelming, feeling like you aren't doing enough. Because I know, like most guys or whatever, or whoever presents in the masculine form, like it can feel very overwhelming. Sometimes it may seem like you're never doing enough. Like you always, not saying like that's what they telling you, or like it just feels like, like I can be doing more. I can be doing more. It is a light at the end of that tunnel. You just have to recognize it, reconstruct, and save space for yourself. Give yourself some grace. I know it feels overwhelming at times, but if you recognize it and you actually sit down and look at what's actually happening, either you're going to see that you need to change something, or you're going to see that you actually are doing something, that you actually are making a difference. So just hold on to that. Hold on to that. Know that you are doing right, knowing that you are doing good, knowing that your efforts aren't going unnoticed. I know it can seem like that at times, but it's really not. Just if you get to a space of feeling like overwhelmed, anxious, like anxiety or something, it's like so much on your plate, take some time, man. Recognize it first. That's the most important step. You have to recognize what you're going through. Recognize it, reconstruct it, make a plan. That way you stay intact. That way you don't feel so like burnt out all the time, or fed up all the time, or just so tired and angry. Recognize it and say to yourself, I can do this. I got this. And thirdly, what I like to focus on is myself, which I actually, the easiest way for me to do it is usually when everyone's asleep, but that's just the way that I choose it. I choose to, all the waking time, the day up, I choose to pour into them. And when they sleep, I choose to use that time for myself, because I typically don't like need like 8 hours of sleep. I'm good with like 5. So that's when I choose to, that is what works best for me to take care of my needs that I need to take care of myself, that my kids can't do, or my family can't do, or my wife can't do. I choose to use that time for me. That's when I, read, or I really need to start getting more back into my fitness journey. But that's usually the time that I do those things, like when they sleep. That way I can always be there and be present for them, because that is what really matters. Presence is what matters. Showing up for people. If you liked this video, or you gained some value from it, like, shoot me a comment if I missed something. If you got a tip for me, shoot me a comment. You gain some value, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. HD DJ out.